Hi, this is Donna Hovey, and I am going to be taking you through an upgrade of IBM I from V7R3 to V7R5. Um, I do have a checklist that I follow. Basically, I'm not going to go through placing the order through ESS or any of the upgrade planning or memo to users. Those things are all found easily um, when you search. I did have some notes for Power 9 that firmware is required to be at this level or higher, vials at version 3 or higher, load source, that's usually not a problem, and my HMC is at V10R1. Um, and just wanted to point out that there is a page for required PTFs for upgrading to 7.5. And make sure that if you're upgrading from 7.3, you look at this column right here, this first column, and make sure that you look at all the PTFs all the way down because you have different sections for each area that PTFs are required. So make sure you have all those PTFs on. And also, you're going to want to look at the Flirt tool within IBM to make sure that your firmware and everything is compatible. So if you just search on FLRT IBM, you get to this page right here. Report tools, we have a power system. And just fill this out, which you can see that I already did. If I submit that, I do get a couple of recommendations, but no requirements. So everything that I have is compatible. There is a firmware update that I could get, but it's not required. And then there is a service pack that I could upgrade to, or a new release on the HMC. But again, that's not required, it's just recommendation. So I am good to go as far as that goes. All right, so there's a couple things that I check in SST before I do my upgrade. And you want to make sure you have the QSEC offer password available and working. First thing I'm going to check is for any unassigned disks. That all looks good. And I also want to check to make sure my console can be recovered. So I want to go into option 8 and 3 to select the console. And I want allow console recovery to be turned on. So I want that yes. And my console type is HMC, so that's option 4. So that looks good. And then I want to make sure that, well, I want to check to see if there's any secondary languages. So let's go license program, because this is a gotcha. If there is, there's none installed on this iSeries, so we're good. It's the customer's responsibility to check their third-party applications to make sure they work on the release that you're going to. And they should be doing testing on a development box to make sure that any homegrown applications also work at the new release. And I've already put on all of the 7.3 PTFs that are required and applied them permanently. I'm just going to check to see if we have any issues with our database cross-reference, and that verified fine. I've already downloaded all the images and created my image catalog. So V5 OS. If I do a 12 to look at the entries, here I have all of my OS images and then some additional licensed programs. Everything's loaded and ready to go. So now on the Work with Licensed Program screen, we're going to take option 5. And basically you're going to want to go through all of these. So there could be some licensed programs that you have on your LPAR that are not supported for V5, and that will show up in this list. I've already gotten rid of those. You have to basically work with software agreements and accept all the agreements for the products. Verify system objects, that just prepares the install. And then allocate additional space for lick. You can either try to do that immediately or delayed. If I do it immediate, additional space is not necessary for this box anyhow. If you know you're going to be upgrading and you need additional space and you don't want to add it right away, you can put in delayed here, and the next time you IPL, it will allocate additional space. Okay. I also want to mention a tool that you can download for, it's called the pre-upgrade verification tool. And it runs on your PC. I accept the license. We're going to check the system for upgrade. It's going to ask for the IP address. Target release, we're going to change that to 7.5. And we are going to be installing it with virtual image catalog. And we want to run all checks. So this is going to check all of these things to make sure that the system is ready for an upgrade. Okay, and I click next. Basically, I don't have anything red, so nothing's going to stop it from upgrading. I do have something in my library list that I should remove before I do the upgrade, and that's Q Help Sys, so I will do that. There are some licensed programs that aren't supported at V7R5, so, but that's not going to have an issue with the upgrade. And then my QMG Tools is saying that it's on an old version, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that after I get to 7.5. So that all looks good. And you can show output, but we're just going to exit. Okay. So we want to apply the permanents, PTF's permanent before we do the upgrade. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and that was actually already done a while ago, so there's nothing to be applied now. All right, so now I want to make sure you're on the console, which I am. I'm going to end these other sessions. Okay. So I have this Q helps us. All right, so I'm going to go do a change syslib list to get rid of that library list. And the rest looks good. That looks fine. Okay. So just prior to the upgrade, there are some system values that need to be set correctly for the upgrade to work. So let's check those. The system library list, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste what's already there so I can put it back to the way it was. Okay, so I need to take out Q help sys. Q user libelist should only have QGPL and QTemp. And it does, so that's fine. Q allow object restore needs to be all. And that's good. Q verify object needs to be a 3. So that was a 1, and we're going to change that to a 3. Just keeping track of what it was before I change it here. So I'll change it back. And then the Q scan, we're going to say no post restore. And that's already set, so that's good. Okay, I think we're ready to do the actual upgrade. So basically we're going to change the IPL so that it comes up in a restricted mode. Start to restricted state, yes. And we're going to get it into a restricted state right now, so I'll just show you work active job here real quick. I do have Mimix product running, so I'm going to end that. But that's pretty much it. Everything else is OS. So while that's working on that, I'm going to show you my HMC. I have a virtual HMC. My partition is iSeries B. And I just want to make sure that it's set to the correct source and key position, which is B normal. That looks good. All right. Okay, so when it's in restricted state, everything's going to be ended, except Q control is going to stay in an end status. Everything else should go away except for some IBM tasks. Okay, that looks good. Let's just check our messages. And we see that it's ended to a restricted state, so that's good. I'm just going to check my image catalog again, make sure that's ready and all set to go. All right. So, P7. I'm going to power down immediate, restart, and input the IPL sources image catalog and your image catalog name and hit enter. And you'll have to do a shift 16. And now I'm going to go ahead and pause it until we get some information to come up. So I'll be back. Okay, I just wanted to show you the console screen came back up and it is working on the installation. And here is my HMC iSeries B. So this takes about maybe an hour. We'll time it, but there we go. All right, the first part is done, and if you look at my HMC, you can see that it is coming back up. And now it's working on the license programs. All right, so the upgrade is done. I have a sign-on screen. If you remember, this is going to be in restricted state. Okay, so to make sure that everything completed, we're going to verify the upgrade completed fine by doing go license program option 50. And I realize I have to put my license keys on yet. So I did get some license programs not found on media, but everything that was on the media completed successfully, so we're good to go. As if you're using BRMS, basically there is an initialization job that needs to run, and that's usually run in Q batch. Maybe it ran already. I'm just going to go ahead and start that. Okay, looking at our license programs, we don't have BRMS in here, so that's fine. We're going to do a check product option for the operating system. Make sure that comes back clean. Good, no errors detected. So the next steps is basically I need to set all my system values back to the original values, recompile Q startup, apply my license keys, apply the PTFs, the latest PTFs for 7.5, and then I need to do either save the entire system or at the very least star sys, star IBM, and star IBM link. So that concludes this session. Thank you very much.